The camera. There's two more cameras. Bam. Right. Okay, I'm gonna take y'all into my little world real fast. Look. All right, look. This is my storage unit. This is my storage unit. Can you say storage unit? Hello, kids. Can you say storage unit? Okay. Here we go. Look. Now, from this point, from this table on back, all this stuff ain't even mine. Only got this little small section. Okay? Everything else is not mine. This bag right here, full of shoes and personal little items. It's a chess set in here, a hell of a chess set. You know what I'm saying in here? All this little stuff right here is mine. You know what I'm saying? This little stuff set. This is not mine. This is not mine. That stuff back there is mine. Clipper oil, alcohol, my grease, Axe, my Beats, shoe cleaner. Some more shoes back there. Retro Reeboks box. My clippers. That's for my manscaping. My other clippers are in this box right here, in this bag right here. In this bag right here. Personal mirror. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all can see my personal mirror, clothes, like my jackets, my long sleeve shirts, which gotta go to the cleaners, cause I haven't wore this stuff. You know what I mean? Hold on, the light went out. The light's gonna go out in here. I got a new starter coat. I haven't even wore it. You guys will see it. I gotta get the hat to match. It's a Lakers coat. Somebody has said, "Oh, I think he's sleeping in his storage room." You know what I mean? That's a lie, cause I can't sleep in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I can't sleep in here. All my workout clothes after I've worked out in them are in this bag. Alrighty. Now this is, as you can see, I don't fit in here. There's no way for me to, you know what I'm saying? I'm legit sitting down, look. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm swing out, there's the door out. Like, I don't fit in here. There's nowhere for me to sleep. Now you're probably saying, "Oh, you could just take it out and then," you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, look. This is not moving anywhere. I have to move this stuff out. So look. You see the wall? Look. You see where that little pink little dress is? From that pink dress going back, none of this stuff is mine. This little small area right here of stuff is like all of that stuff, the black stuff, like the hoodlum looking stuff. And then, look, my boxes of shoes. You see that Raider hat over there in the cut? You know what I'm saying? Those are all my work clothes and t-shirts, the clean stuff. So it's about 8 days of stuff right there that's clean. This is my workout clothes. I put out, look, workout shorts. Just continuous shorts, continuous shorts, sweaty drawers. This stuff is still wet. Like, it's still like wet, you know what I'm saying? So I have to do this on Sunday. Sunday is, it's not this like Sabbath I rest. Look, clean your utensils, you know what I'm saying? Cause some, you know, you ever seen Beat Street? Remember when Ramon was doing graffiti? Ramon was writing on the walls, and then there was a dude who would go behind Ramon and put spit all over every beautiful mural he did. So he did a Christmas mural and spit, like it within hours, wrote spit all over it. And then the kids came out and all the families came out like, "Wow, man, spit really is the lowest of the lowest." And that's kind of like, I have a spit, and it's a collective of spits. They'll come behind me and discredit everything that I try to do that's positive. As long as I'm doing like real trashy shit, degrading women, you know what I mean? Making me out to be, you know what I mean, like a vicious batterer of females. And the crazy part about it is, usually when it comes to battering a woman, a lot of young dudes find out about themselves by getting older. But when they're young, they really don't really know how wrong they might be mentally. Like, you have the wrong outlook, and it's okay to you because it's normal behavior because of the collective of people you're around. But you got to grow out of that type of viewpoint when you're dealing with women. A lot of it is you taking accountability and you not understanding when you having a disagreement with a woman. When you or if you go home to your baby mama and y'all fighting and y'all start screaming and shouting at each other, first lesson one, the reason you guys are shouting at each other and screaming to where the neighbors can complain is because neither one of you guys are listening. Because if one of you guys were listening and paying attention, only one person could be screaming. I can't scream, I can't talk over you, so I have to listen. Neither one of you guys are listening to each other's at all. And then the stuff that is coming out of you guys' mouth is either scaring the neighbors or it's enough to where people are calling the police. So you guys ain't even listening to yourselves and listening to what's coming out of each other's mouths to realize y'all don't love each other no more. Because you can't love each other screaming that stuff like that y'all screaming to where the police got to come and take one of y'all out of the house. But you have to live and grow. You're not just going to have that information off the top. You're going to have to go through it to get to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't fit in here. Look, like I'm already out the door. I can't sleep right here. Like, you want me to sleep? I can't sleep right here. Like, it's not possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if shit's that bad, did it get that bad? You know what I'm saying? Literally, it can't be that bad. But it is, but it didn't get that bad, did it? Somebody literally I can't fit in here. I don't be in here. People he sleeps in the storage. I can't sleep in the storage. Now, I do come by the storage quite a bit. I have this is my bag. I got this from my big homegirl. She gifted me this bag. It's full of shoes, personal little items. I got my laptop. I got my noodle ball. It's my noodle ball. I love this noodle ball. This is the box is kind of messed up, you know what I mean? What's a cup of noodle ball? I love my noodle ball. You know what I'm saying? I love my noodle ball. My beatbox, incense, favorite incense, my James Earl joints, the guitar back here. That's not my guitar. These are mine. This table. I don't fit in here. And then once I put this chair in here, you guys will really see what I mean. There's no room for me to sleep. And it's the holidays, you know what I mean? And it's sad that, you know what I'm saying? Now look. Can y'all see that? There's no room for me to, even if I got in a chair, look. Gym bag, all-purpose bag. So what I am gonna do is fill my gym bag up. Now you wanna know what's in my gym bag. You know what I'm saying? You know, hold on, I got something for you. These are my boxing gloves, my jump rope. That was my phone charger. Right? My phone charger. My jump rope. That bag goes with me pretty much everywhere. Every day. J's on the ground. Towel. J's. These ain't no bootleg J's. Those are real J's. Retro. They just be holding up. Okay, so now I'm in the chair, right? Here I am in the chair. This is a studio chair for somebody, but I don't know where his studio is. You know what I'm saying? I only talk to the person that knows the dude with the studio, and he wants to buy this chair. He just hasn't came and got it. So once he comes and gets the chair, it ain't gonna be here. So here I am in the chair, right? Boom. Now I'm sliding in, y'all. Here I go. Look, I'm in the door. This is as far as I can go. Does that seem comfortable to you? I'm out of the door now. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of the door now, so I can't sleep inside of the storage unit. And you're not supposed to be inside of the storage unit sleep. You see what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to be in there sleep. You know what I mean? So you can come here, you know what I mean? You could go through your things, you could rearrange your things, but you can't sleep here overnight. You can't be here, you know what I'm saying? Really, you know, after 6 o'clock is when, you know what I mean, you should be like, I'm leaving this place. Now, if you come after hours, like the latest you could come here and it is open to the public, your code ain't gonna work after 10 o'clock. So after 10 o'clock, your code ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna be able to get out of here after 10. And you ain't gonna be able to get in here after 10. So now you stuck on the premises and you're just being watched and surveyed, and now you're gonna be in trouble with the situation. I mean, it's not a bad idea if you could do it, but this isn't one of them places you could do it. This is Upland, California. This isn't downtown Los Angeles. This isn't downtown Los Angeles. This isn't, you know what I mean? You can't do that here. This is Upland. You know what I mean? Upland slash going towards, what is it? Upland, Claremont area. You know what I'm saying? You can't, I don't live here. You know what I'm saying? I be here. I come here regularly. Now my dirty clothes, how can I show y'all? My dirty clothes is right in this bag. Look, gym shorts poking out of the hole. Sweats, you know what I mean? I'm not shameless, but I'm gonna say this. It's always better to tell your story before somebody else try to tell it, because they not gonna tell it right. So it's best to tell you, and there's no versions to the story. We gotta have everybody. Listen, if there's participants in a story, I'm gonna teach you the best lesson for male and female. If there's a story that you heard, or you heard something about somebody, or somebody said such and such was there, it should be very easy for you to get all parties involved to get to the bottom of the situation. Very rarely, when my name comes up, will the other parties want to resolve that situation that way. Like, man, I talked to Devon, I talked to Devin, I talked to Davon, I talked to Butchie, I talked to Knox all the time. Matter of fact, I just talked to Knox, man. I'm gonna go meet up with him tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to meet at the storage unit. Because, you know what I mean, whatnot and so forth. And you know I still got my studio equipment. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me, I got to pick that up. They still holding on to that. I got a pawn shop to where I be pawning stuff that people don't even want to buy. They just loan me money and hold on to the stuff because they've been knowing me for years. And I've been buying studio equipment from them since I was like 18 and 19. I'm 49 right now. So they've been knowing me that long. You know what I mean? I remember when they used to have guns on their hips when I was 18 and 19 and 20 and 21. Because I used to I had a whole bunch of little studio equipment I bought from them back in the days. So this is legit my laundry bag. Now your laundry bag, you either want to keep it in the trunk of your car. You don't want to take it inside with your roommates or whatnot. You don't want to have any offensive odors when you're a guest at somebody's house, or you're doing the roommate situation, because odors are offensive. And you know when you move in with certain people, some people be real chicken shit and be real petty. So you want to minimize. You know what I'm saying? There's no smells coming from my stuff. Every day before you leave the house, your shit should be spick and span. Like me, when I come home, I clean up after everybody. Wherever I'm at, I clean up after everybody. So wherever I'm living, I clean up after everybody. They don't have to clean up. And the reason nobody has to clean up is because I live here and it's my shit too. And if you gonna be nasty, it's you gonna be nasty, but not when I'm there. You're gonna be nasty when I'm not there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna clean up the kitchen, sterilize the bathroom. Now, if you don't have those type of attributes about yourself, and you're not that type of person, then that's fine. But I just have to live here until I can get my own situation, which is still technically a homeless situation. You see what I'm saying? Because anytime you don't have your own place, you homeless. Anytime you got to ask permission, can you do something at your own place, you're homeless. I don't have to ask permission. Can I walk around and, when I get out of the shower, I can walk around naked when I get out of the shower. I can't do that when I live at somebody else's house. I can't do that when I'm a roommate somewhere else. I can't do that at other people's stuff. I can only do that at my house. You can't even do that at your parents' house. Just get out of the shower and walk around with your stuff out like that. You can't do that at your parents' house. I know you probably saying, man, at least I got a place to stay. I stay at my parents' house, but it's not yours, and you can't do what you would do at your place. Like, you can't stand in the middle of the floor and get medulla oblongata from a girl. You know what I mean? You can't stand in the middle of the floor and just, soon as she walk in right, in the middle of the doorway and get medulla oblongata, because that's not your place. And then, even if your roommates ain't home, it's still not a good thing, because somebody might come home. You don't know who got cameras, and what you doing right now, man? Come on, man. You getting a phone call, man, the cameras is on. You know what I mean? That's because, if they were your cameras, they could be on. But since you live with other people, you're not realizing that they got cameras on. That's because it's not your own place, and technically you homeless till you get your own place. You know what I mean? Now you have a place to stay and a place to be until you get your own place. You see what I'm saying? But somebody was like, oh, he's living and sleeping, and I can't be in here. I can't even close the door to this place. You know what I'm saying? I can't even. And that bag, them clothes are still damp from the workout. You know what I'm saying? So that should let you know, like, how active. You know what I'm saying? This is the door closing, you guys. The door is closing. The door is closing. It's not going to be able to close behind me because it don't work that way. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fit in here. You know what I'm saying? So whoever started that rumor, whoever spreaded the rumor. Now, let's say if I take this table, stand this up here, but this is a whole table. You get what I'm saying? This is a whole table on the ground. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole table on the ground. This is a table. You see that table? I don't fit. Now, you want me to take this out, stack it over here. I'm still not going to be able to fit, because look, it's a whole table on the ground. Look how big the table is. I don't fit in this motherfucker. Look. There's more stuff under here. This is stuff under here. Look, J's. Oh, look, Razor. Bam. Spidey. That's another reason you shouldn't be right there. Look, you got this, that. That's a dresser right there. I gotta move all of this stuff out just to get that table out. I don't fit in here. So why would you spread that type of hatred to discredit somebody? You know what I mean? That's not cool. You know what I mean? That's totally not cool. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna let God fix them. We can walk over here, cut these lights back on. You know what I'm saying? Walk over here, cut these lights back on. Because the light will go out every 20 minutes. Like every 20 minutes, the lights will go out. Boom, in the chair. These are my old J's. I work in these J's. These are my favorite J's. You know what I mean? Because you can wash them up real good, and it's like they restored. Look at, I got clean up stuff, because I be cleaning the floor, and I can't stop the spiders though. This is spider zone. Yeah. Whenever there's whenever there's a messenger, always remember, I'm not here to see a prophecy fulfilled. I'm just here to do me. You know what I'm saying? You remember, you know what I mean? I'm Cartoon's little homeboy. You know, I don't do no capping. I'm just myself. I'm going to let you see the A's on my report card as well as the F's on my report card. You know, I'm going to let you see the A's on my report card as well as the F's. You know what I mean? We don't do no capping. You know what I mean? A lot of these people are bad peoples. Yo, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want no problems. I ain't here starting no trouble, but some of y'all are some bad peoples. You know what I mean? And that's just factual. My boy said he's bad peoples. Some, you know what I mean? You know, some people be like, you know, people are federal informants. Now, I don't think a CI or a federal informant is going to be living comfortably in a storage unit. Most federal informants and CIs, they have a whole bunch of cars and they be having a little money and they be because you know they get paid for they assistance. They say that they could use their influence to help with the youth and everything else. Yeah, that's cool. That's true. That's probably real true. But at the end of the day, ain't no CIs gonna be living in a storage unit. You know what I'm saying? I come by my storage unit at least. Shit, I come by here about 5 times a week, maybe more, maybe twice in one day sometimes. It depends. On the weekend, twice. You know what I'm saying? If I need to run over here and get a jacket or something, but that stuff got to go to the cleaners. That all of that right there has got to go to the cleaners because it's never been washed before. It's never been washed. But yeah, man, I don't fit in here. Shit, it would be nice because you can save a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? With no rent. You know what I mean? You'll be look. This bag, this stuff from that bed going back, none of that's mine. From this table right here going all the way back, none of this stuff is mine. Just this is mine. This is my workout bag, my gym bag that I carry with me every day. Work clothes bag. This is my charger. This is my charger in the bag. Which there is no electricity outlets in here. There's no electricity outlets nowhere in here. Plus they spray this thing with pesticides. See them are 45s that stool is on. You hear that noise? It sounds like something torturing something or eating a mouse or something like that. Eating a rat. Yeah. Raiders hat. Bulls hat. Raiders hat. I got a cleaners. Raiders hat. Bulls hat. Bulls hat. Raiders hat. I got a hat. I got a Bulls hat. I got a spot that dry cleans hats too. Retro Reeboks. It's a pair of Pumas and Cortez in there. You know what I mean? That's about it. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff from this point on back ain't even mine. So, you know, if you leave it up to the people, they're going to choose Barabbas. Go read the story in the Bible. Look for the story about Barabbas and Jesus. I already talked about that long time ago on my Instagram. I got rid of my Instagram in 2004. I got rid of my Instagram a long time ago in 2004. Talked about Barabbas and Jesus. I talked about how Martin Luther King had the Guinness Book of Record of being arrested and going to jail. He been to jail more times than anybody on this earth. Martin Luther King. a person that doesn't believe in violence, and was a preacher and a reverend and an advocate for peace. He went to jail more than anybody on this earth. Martin Luther King. Jesus went to jail. I got that from a comedian that people rarely talk about to this day still, but I talk about him all the time. Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney is like one of the best comedians that ever existed. A lot of material came from Paul Mooney, actually. So, it's sad. It's sad that, that Ramon finally caught up with Spit. You do know that on the movie, like he was doing a piece, and he heard the clacking of the cans in the distance, and he said, "Hold on." He went to check it out, and it was Spit. He chased Spit for about a quarter of a mile, and they in the subway. So they get to locking up. There's an active electrical current on one of the train track side. It's on the left side. It's that heavy electrical current that's on that side, right? So Ramon slams him on it, and Ramon held on to him, and they electrocuted each other when they hit the train tracks. Because Ramon had slammed him all over the place, and then when Ramon slammed him on the current, the live current rail, they both fried each other. And they had a big old celebration in the memory of Ramon. You know what I mean? Puerto Rican graffiti dude. You know what I mean? Phase 2 and a burner. Burner and phase 2 are two different styles of graffiti. Phase 2, it's a part of when you're doing graffiti. This part is called phase 2, and this is called a burner. You know what I'm saying? But the name of the game is to stay free. You know what I mean? It's your job to get away. It's their job to catch you. You know what I mean? So you got to do your part, do your job. It's your job to stay free. It's always your job to stay free. Now, how do you do that? That proves that some of y'all don't want to stay free. Some of y'all want to go in and out of jail. You know what I mean? I don't really like jail like that. I never did. You can't tell me you ain't never seen a man's penis and you be going to jail. You can't tell me that. Because niggas walk in California, they walk around in their boxers in prison all day long. Niggas walk around in them flimsy ass white boxers they give you. The state give you white flimsy boxers. And then on a hot day, everybody be sweating. So it be so moist you can see through the boxers. And then you always got to concentrate on looking a man in the eyes or focusing on his head. You know what I mean? So you don't be looking under here, because all you can see is weenish and ass cracks, because everybody's working out and we don't have no clothes. You know what I'm saying? Especially on lockdowns and on certain yards, you know what I'm saying? It's just that bad in there. You know what I mean? It's just that horrific. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time to shower, you don't get to shower by yourself all the time. Sometimes you have to shower with other people. Sometimes I learned to take a shower with my boxers on. Like, I don't even take my boxers off. Like, you know what I mean? Or I take some state pants and I cut them so I can just take a shower with my state pants on. You know what I mean? Because who wants to be, you know what I mean, in that situation? You know what I'm saying? Living with men like that, unless you like that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get caught, you don't have a choice. But once you get out and go back and go back and go back and go back, then, at some point you got to realize, like, man, this is as prideful as it gets. You know what I'm saying? But, you part of pride. You just, you gotta, you know what I mean? This is pride. You know what I'm saying? Legit, this is homosexuality at its finest. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to nobody, but I mean, that's what it is.